Shoes on, keeping on my shoes. Hey y'all, so I was reading this morning a verse, and as I was chewing on it, meditating on it, I had the idea and the thought of sending it to you and just sharing with you guys my takeaways. But even in doing so, as I was having that thought for the second or third time, I started having a picture of just making this little video to send it to you in a different way. So here we go. And I'm just going to do this all raw, so who cares how it sounds and what it looks like. But just want to tell you I love you and hope you're having a great day. And we got a lot to be thankful for, so do it. So anyway, back to what I was reading at Psalm 127:1 this morning. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. And here are my thoughts. Meditating on it with Holy Spirit is that the work takes time, which feels like it is in short supply and is running out. But a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day with God. So trust Him. The journey of people and the transformation of people, the building of people, that work in people takes time. So it must follow His timing as He is allowed by these people to work on them. That includes me and includes you. But my joining in that process must be 1, trusting, 2, patient, 3, forgiving, 4, unconditional towards the outcomes, and 5, obedient, 6, steadfast, and 7, love. Do not try to rush, and don't be discouraged, for I am just the laborer. He, God, is the builder. That was the first takeaway. The second one is this: the house. I mean, these don't have to be all together. These are separate thoughts, but it says the house. In my brain, I said the house could be an example of a life, a person's life. Unless one yields to God, leading and directing in accordance with His plans, purposes, agenda, then the life being lived will be in vain. Vain in the process, that's the living of it, and vain in the end, the age to come. That life will perish. Third point was, we are able to labor without the Lord being the builder. This verse implies the fact that we can be the ones laboring without Him as the one building or the builder. So I believe this calls for a constant evaluation of our life, of the building of our house, a seasonal evaluation, and an annual, like quote unquote annual, in the idea of being disciplined and constantly inspecting our house. That is our life, to make sure that we are not working on things, building things that the master architect, God, is not wanting done. The idea, I guess, is that with this, it's easy or possible for us to move on thinking we are building rightly, but we're not building rightly. We could be building in vain. And so constantly evaluating whether it's daily or whether it's seasonal or whether it's annual, and all those references to time have more to do with just the concept of our life. So lastly, we must constantly be looking for areas where we find our labor and His fruit. So we must constantly be looking at our life and inspecting it to see those areas and activities of our life where He ends up proving Himself fruitful in the ability to lead us. And it's like we go to build it and it actually stands. We go to invest in it and there's a return for it. I guess the concept of building with your life is that, like we must constantly be looking at, when I do these things, they are fruitful. Some of them are disciplined and hard things. Some of them are beautiful and easy things, but we have to constantly be evaluating these things and seeing if they're fruitful. So, unless the Lord builds the house, those who labor build it in vain. Love y'all.